So in essence, our Utica Insurance has been very proactive with us on this. They've been very responsive. I've been in constant contact with Heather, who is our on-site adjuster. Again, our deductible is $5,000, and the claim will stay open for 2 years, just in case anything else happens to something along the line that we're not seeing right now, but later on we can attribute it back to it was because of this accident, that the claim will still be open for us. Once I do actually get all of the information from the insurance and I do find out what the total cost of all the damage is, we will share that out with the board in a board update. But as of right now, I don't have all that information yet.
I'm glad they've been so helpful and responsive, and wow, because
Yeah.
you don't always get
you
that.
don't.
Yep, very helpful, very responsive.
Good.
Maybe we can send something from the board saying, thank you very much for being responsive to that.
Exactly. So, and that is all I have.
Nobody else has anything else? We will turn it over to Community Relations. Angela.
I'd like to open up the Community Relations Committee meeting.
Thank you, Mrs. Williams. I'd like to give a couple updates this evening. The first one is, as a reminder, today was the launch of the Bus Patrol Bus Safety Program in really the footprint of our district where all of our buses go. Our entire fleet has been updated with the automatic cameras outside and inside of the bus. Mr. Wanamaker received training on that. He now knows how to access the videos if we want them. For any particular reason for the inside of the bus, in case we would want to review anything like, say, student behavior or something like that. He will in turn be training all of our principals in how to access them. Chief Jones, he received his training as a reviewing law enforcement officer if there is a stop arm violation. So that process has all been set up. I checked with him. I checked with Mr. Wanamaker today to see if there was any violations. He said he was not made aware of any, but on Friday there was 3 of them. On Friday alone, all the bus drivers were like, "Are the cameras active? Are the cameras active?" Somebody just blew by me at a bus stop. Unfortunately, they were not active on Friday, but they are active as of this morning, so they are all live. And we've been sharing out different communications to parents, all of our employees. I worked with Mr. Honor at the Times News. He ran an article on it, so it's out there. We're hopeful that as people become more aware of it, they are less likely to break that law, because that's really the goal of it, the safety of our students and the drivers.
I have a question. So when somebody does, violate, how do you know? You have to go back and review the video?
So
or?
what happens is on the video, which starts recording every time that stop arm goes out, if there's a violation, what happens is on that video, a red line is inserted. And we know, so it's not like we have to sit there and waste hours of trying to review. You go right to where that first occurrence is. It's like flagged by like a little red indicator on the video. The company will send that to Chief Jones. Chief Jones will review it as a law enforcement officer and say either yes or no. If he says yes, then the citation is issued to the owner of the vehicle.
And it will always be reviewed by the officer only who can issue this.
It will only be sent once approved by our Chief Jones. For internal cameras, let's say if there's some sort of misbehavior on the bus or something like that, well, that's not triggered by somebody breaking the law. What happens is there's a push button, the driver just pushes it, and it automatically flags that point in the video on the internal cameras, so the principal can go and they don't have to spend time, trying to fast forward through what could be an hour worth of video. They can go right to the occurrence. My battery's going to die. Any questions on bus patrol?
Hopefully it goes well. After seeing some of the things that I read in an email from whoever, I'm a little concerned now, but...
So I would say, think of that. It was kind of anonymous, and they were advocating for another system.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I went with like that, but I just hope that, because there was a lot of articles. I didn't watch
There is
them
some
all, but
start to that, obviously, that you don't want to cause more fee, and you want to protect the student, but at the same time, without literally something or someone almost putting up a wall. There's not that much more,
Yeah.
you know, and we put yellow arms out, we put flashing lights, we
Yeah.
people trying to stop and walk the middle of the road, and they're still blowing through them. So at some level,
We all
what-
passed the test saying that we knew what to do.
we knew what to do.
Yeah.
Right.
So, you know what, if you're gonna blow through it, then go lose your license
Yeah.
for a couple months, because then you have to think about it.
So, just for clarity, it's not a criminal penalty, it's a
Sure.
civil.
Yep.
Civil.
Agreed.
So we can't, we can't take somebody's license.
Right.
But there is a consequence.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. The next topic, again, just as a reminder, parentguidance.org is now up on our website. I'm hopeful, I'm going to check back in at the end of the month and see what kind of usage we're getting on that. But just as a reminder, that's out there. Again, I worked with Mr. Honor, and he ran an article about that as well. All of our parents and employees have received information that it's very simple to access right off the website. So again, thank you for that.
Can the public access that, or is that you have to be
So
a
you
student
have
with an ID number?
so you have to go in and identify the district that you're associated with.
Okay.
So kind of, yeah.
So if I wanted to go in and
Yes.
I could go in
Yep.
and just say Northern High School this
Yep,
year.
just follow the prompts on the webpage, and I'm
there
out
you
of hours. The last one, if I may, I just wanted to really, and we talked about this through several different committees tonight. I did want to acknowledge and thank everybody that stepped up when that pipe did burst at the high school. Everybody from our faculty that were able to, some of them tried, some of them immediately start throwing down like blankets and towels trying to contain it in the hallway. They all got their students safely down into the gym. The monitor, the students, administration did a great job. The high school administration, but then the other administrators that were able to report directly to that building and help provide supervision of the students. Stellar Construction Company. Well, first let me say the first responders that showed up when we realized we needed more manpower. And then once they realized they didn't have the equipment to actually do the job that needed to be done, in particular, Fire Chief Wentz over at Walnutport was there, and he said, Matt, we need to get in a professional team in here for fire and water mitigation. The people from Stellar Company, Tony Sr. and Tony Jr., the owners, they actually showed up that day. So the two owners showed up, worked directly with Sherry, Chris, and myself, just trying to, put an initial plan in place. And then when their foreman, Mike Dempsey, showed up, who's one of our Northern Lehigh graduates, I learned over those few days that, a career in the military, a lot of which was logistics, 20-some years in the reserves, a lot of it was logistics. When I tell you it was a military-like operation when he brought his crews in, that's exactly what it was. That day on Tuesday, I said, I would like to have him back in by Monday. He just kind of looked at me and said, you'll have him back in by Monday. And he did, and they worked around the clock to make it so, with only 2 rooms we had to keep offline on Monday and Tuesday. They said we could put them back in there, and we decided to wait for 2 days until we had a second round of air quality test. Everybody at the insurance company, everybody really stepped up to say, we want our students back in the buildings safely and as quickly as possible, and they did. So thank you to everybody involved in that.
I was up at the school a couple times, obviously, for pickups and drop-offs, but the amount of first responders that were here, Slatington, Walnutport, boroughs that were here, Walnutport and Slatington, I saw here to come pick up, just to have that community support was really nice to see, so thanks to them. I agree with you, having the days, just a couple days with our students out, it's not what anybody wants, but at the same time, it was the safety of it, and coming up on the weekend, picking up for sporting events, seeing the building still open, people still working at all hours of the day, made sure that our students got back in on Monday. So it was an unfortunate thing, but seemed pretty seamless. So thanks to the administration, because I know you guys were here too. So administration, janitors, all of those individuals, staff. Thank you.
Well, thank you for letting us, honestly, for letting us do it and just saying we trust you to get it done. So we appreciate that. Just one other comment on that. I think every single contractor that showed up, the different outfits, the plumbers, the HVAC, because we had to take the HVAC apart and look inside, Stellar Construction, even the water testing company, they're all local. Those were all local contractors. There was nobody from out of the region that came in to work on that project. So we were happy about that as well.
That's great.
Yeah. That's all I have, Mrs. Williams.
All right, well, then I'm closing the community relations committee. Out of your way.
Thanks, everyone.
Any other questions? Stop.
No questions, they closed it.
This computer's dead, so we can go.
Meeting.
Go on. Preemptive.